Hey guys, smell this.
Smell that? Yeah. You know what that is?
Fish.
No, it's tofu.
No, it's fish.
No, really, it's tofu. I just put some nori inside to make it taste like fish.
It's freedom. And it's money.
Ha! I wish! No, it's shallow fried taste of the ocean battered tofu with chunky oven chips, macho peas and tartare sauce.
No, it's fish.
It's not fish! Hey guys, if you're in the UK and you like boxes, then I got some good news for you. You can buy this box here from Screen to Plate and it just happens to come free with all the ingredients you need to make this fish and chips recipe. You get sent the exact measurements so you won't have loads of leftover nori or capers that just sit on the shelf for 20 years, so that's good. So cold. You get these little pots which I actually like to reuse, or you can recycle them, and these little sachets are made from cornstarch so they're compostable or edible. The wrappers on these ice packs are recyclable, but sadly most UK councils aren't yet able to collect them, but you can stick them in the freezer and reuse them for the 3-day long British summer. The recipe box is around the same price as a takeaway. It all gets delivered straight to your door in less than 48 hours, and you know, it's a bit of fun. Helps me out a little bit, so that's good. Link is in the description. Okay, cool, let's go. Oven at 200 degrees, and then let's grab a mug, fill it up with cold water, into the freezer, close it. Oh, close, yep, good. Alright, I wanted to keep this video as short as possible, so if you'd like to make the macho peas or the tartare sauce, I made a separate little video for each of those. Links are in the description or up there. Cool. So the simplest way to make the fish is to take a block of tofu, cut it into slabs of whatever size you like, pat them dry, sprinkle them with sea salt, wrap it up in a nori sheet, bit of lemon juice helps it stick, and you get that. Then you batter that, shallow or deep fry it for a few minutes, let it drain, and you get this. Now this is fine, it tastes good. The recipe box does include nori sheets if you want to do it this way. Thing is, this bit tastes a bit like fish, while this bit still just tastes like plain tofu, and we're totally missing that layery structure of fish. So I thought, let's take the block of tofu, slice it into very thin layers. That way when we pat it dry, we'll get even more water out of it so it won't be quite so soggy. Then sprinkle it with some fine sea salt, and if you've got the recipe box, you'll have these nori sprinkles, which, guess what? Yes, we sprinkle over the tofu. Now, if for some insane reason you haven't got nori sprinkles lying around, just grab a nori sheet, rip it up, and then pulse it in the blender until you've got some fish food. And if you're too cheap to buy a blender, then you can roll up a fat one, slice that, and then chop it until you've got more fish food, and guess what? Sprinkle it over the tofu. Okay, I'm gonna stack these up into 2 piles onto a chopping board. Now my tofu block was quite thick, so I can chop these straight down the middle to make 4 fillets, but you can skip this bit if yours was a bit thinner. Now I'm gonna skewer these with some toothpicks at each end to hold them together, and now we got fillets which aren't soggy. They've got the layery structure of fish, the flavors are distributed throughout the tofu, and the toothpicks make them super fun. Whee! Okay, set those aside, and for the batter we need some plain flour. Corn flour makes the batter crispier, salt and pepper makes it tastier, and baking powder makes it expandier? Mixy mixy mix, set that aside. Now for the chips, you can skin the potatoes if you like, but I'm not religious or anything, so I'm gonna keep my skin on, thank you very much. Just take a little bit off the sides, chop them into 1 centimeter thick slices, and then into 1 centimeter thick chips. Okay, this next bit is optional. We need a rolling boil on a pan of water. Grab your chips and in they go, cover and get the water back up to a boil, which should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Then just let it boil until the chips have been in there for a total of 4 minutes, then drain all the water from the chips. Okay, this is the fun bit. Lid on and shake it like a giant maraca filled with potatoes. And now, because we've parboiled them, we'll have a slightly softer center and this lovely starchy potato crud all over the outside. But if you're feeling lazy, you can get away without parboiling if you want to skip it. Okay, put the chips onto a baking tray, generous helping of oil, give them a toss, and all that starchy potato crud is going to caramelize and go extra crispy in the oven, making the outside of the chips all crunchy and crispy. Spread them out a little bit, they go into the oven for about 20 minutes, and there's my foot. Alright, our chips are browned a little bit. See what I mean about that potato crud caramelizing? Give them a little bit of rough and tumble, back into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, or until they look a bit like this. Beautifully yellow all over. Get some salt on there, mix them all up, and listen. Awesome, that means we got a crisp and hard exterior, but beneath that a lovely soft fluffy center, just like me. Oh. Okay, great, so chips are done. Now rewind a bit. There's my foot. When we first put the chips in the oven, we need to start cooking the
Fish.
You can use a frying pan, but I reckon a large saucepan holds the heat in a little bit better. Deep frying scares me more than my receding hairline, so I'm gonna be shallow frying instead. So we need some vegetable oil to at least half the depth of the fillets, but you can put more in if you like. High heat, then get about 125 ml of your ice cold water into the batter. I did try using beer in the batter, but honestly, the difference in taste was so imperceptible that I decided the beer is better off in my mouth than in my batter, and Delia Smith agrees.
You can, if you want to, use beer, but there's very little difference, I think.
Thanks, Delia. So you should have the consistency of double cream, which I shouldn't really say in a vegan video, so try and get the consistency of thick water. After a few minutes, your oil should be rippling a little bit. Add a blob of batter. It should bubble and float immediately and then turn golden brown after about 60 seconds. Yep, that'll do. Okay, quick, time to batter your fillets. Oh my goodness, sorry, that was my toxic masculinity leaking out. Hang on a sec, I know how to fix this. Oh, there we go. Now I know how to be a civilized human being. Phew, close one. Anyway, get the batter all over your fillets. Word of warning, don't rely on the toothpicks too much or this might happen.
Fuck you.
Oh, watch your language, you naughty boy.
So once your fillets are battered, lay them away from you into the hot oil. You may also want to slowly spoon some batter around the outside to get some extra bulky crispy edges, and after 2 to 3 minutes, flip your fillets over. You may need to adjust the heat throughout cooking so that the oil is gently but not violently bubbling around the fillets like this. Okay, I'm gonna give these an extra minute on each side to make sure that the batter is all nice and crispy. Pick them up, shake them off, and onto some kitchen paper or a tea towel to drain. Cook the remaining fillets, let them drain, and there we go. Oh my god, look at that lovely crisp golden batter. Oh, and if you forget to take the toothpicks out, you may end up choking on them just like fish bones. So even if this kills you, it'll be a really good simulation of actual battered fish. Fantastic. So you can keep these warm in the oven for up to about 10 minutes while your chips finish up cooking. Alright, posh wood, no fish and chips is complete without some paper and bibbidi bibbidi boo. Beautiful batter on our fillets, our crunchy soft oven chips, which look like I left them in the oven for a few minutes too long, the tartare sauce, and our slightly spicy, minty, non-toxic macho peas. Little squidge of lemon on there, and ooh, listen to that crunch. And hey, look at that, we got the layers. High five. Bit of sauce on there, let's give it a try. This tastes a bit fishy to me, which is good. Okay, remember, you can buy this as a recipe box if you're in the UK. They're good fun, and it's a nice way to support me and my videos. And yeah, that's it, folks. You've just been schooled. Get it? Like a school of fish? See what I did there? My god, I am so sophisticated. Ah, these fish puns are terrible. I should really scale back. I could do better. Okay, that's probably enough, isn't it? I'll stop.
Hammer time.